there's going to be some egg on our face if the apocalypse was on Monday.
According shows for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
I got my sweet jerk. I put some shoes on.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler.
Just prepare to... yeah, so just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. This is episode 696. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This week, we're going to do our league-wide UndebeatAwards, and we'll play a game in the second half. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up? Undebeatable shout out to the Purdue Boilermakers for winning the national championship. What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatable? Shout out to the Connecticut Huskies for winning the national basketball championship. You get one of those to work.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender and world's foremost David Blatt impersonator, John Colson.
LeBron. Okay, here's the thing. There's an eclipse coming. What do we do? What do you think? I don't know.
Call time.
Whatever you say, LeBron.
Is there a second most David Blatt impersonator?
Next question. From Tacoma, Washington, out west is our enforcer, John Harper.
What's going on, fellas? That's so weird. I was going to shout out David Blatt this show, but kind of stole my thunder.
What? Scooped.
Also, did you say Tocomo?
I said Tacoma.
Okay.
I think I got like glaucoma on the mind or something. I don't know.
You should get that checked out. It should be in your eyes.
Oh, shoot. Better get that moved. Before we get into this show, we'd like to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us for as little as $1 per month. All right, well, let's get into this. This is something we do every year, and we do our end-of-season UndebeatAwards. We'll do this show. We do the league as a whole, and then later, after the season has concluded, we will do a Pacers-specific one.
Maybe.
But this week, maybe.
You have to put a clause there because I don't think we did it last year.
Well, there's an asterisk next to some of them. Don't worry about that.
We did it in
This
our
year,
hearts.
yeah. This year, we are ready to get into the 2023-2024 UndebeatAwards. The first one we got...
Wait, Joe, just a reminder to the listeners, we try to do this Quaker style. We try to come up with a consensus on this one. Now, the Pacers specific, it's a shit show. It's a free-for-all. But this one, we try to come up with, a consensus answer on this. We stay in the room until one person has murdered the other three of us.
Or the apocalypse.
Yes.
And we have, and in general, we've always done this unless there's something Lance Stevenson related that Joey won't come off of, and then we just have to let him do his own thing. We have to vote him down.
And what are you going to do about it? Because I'm not coming off it.
We know.
And I got some surprises for you this season. So the first category, we got Rookie of the Year. I think that the talk of the league has been between two very outstanding rookies, Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. And I think Chet really had a better claim at this earlier in the season as Wembanyama was getting ramped up, but he is in rare form right now. Wembanyama, that is, and I think that he is the right pick for Rookie of the Year. Are there any other nominees from you guys? Jason, where do you think it should be?
I mean, I think this is a slam dunk. It's Wembanyama. He's averaging 21 points a game, 10.5 rebounds, 4 assists, a league-leading 3.5 blocks, and 1.3 steals on a effective field goal percentage of a little bit north of 50%. So a little bit low for a big guy, but
still got a PER of 23.
Yeah.
Rug.
So there's that, and he's been taking over games, right, and like winning games. This is everything you want to see from this guy. So Chet's nice and all, but it's Wemby all the way.
Yeah, there was
a Rookie of the Month 3 times.
Wemby played Chet, and they play each other. And Wemby scored 28 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 blocks, 5 threes, and 2 steals in a win against OKC. Holmgren was a minus 11 in the plus minus that game. So
Well, he wasn't minus 58, so that's good.
that's true. So if you're just going head to head, he's doing all right too, and Wemby.
Well, and then there in that game, Wembanyama blocked one of Holmgren's shots directly, and it was a fadeaway.
Yeah, it was a step back fadeaway from the free throw line.
And it's like Wembanyama was already there. It didn't matter, and he blocked it.
The
anyway.
only person in the room who was not surprised was Victor Wembanyama. It was.
I like the comments.
Ridiculous.
There was some other stats from earlier in the year about Wembanyama, how he had more blocks over a time span than 16 NBA teams, and the top comment is, "How is he allowed to exist?" I think that's a fair assessment.
He recently had a 40-25 game, which I don't think any rookie's done. Maybe it was 30-20. I can't remember. No one's done that since Shaq. Like, no Spur has ever done it. The guy's a monster, and he's having a much better second half than first half of the season.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's just the level of improvement is terrifying if you're a team that does not have one of these.
One of these.
All right. So do we've got consensus from the other contingency?
I think Brandon Miller is better than I thought he was going to be, but he's not in this conversation.
No, he's very good. There's a reason he went where he went.
Yeah.
Scoot Henderson having a really good close to the season after some real ups and downs, but he's nowhere near taking the crown away from Wemby.
Yeah.
He's the first player to have 75 threes, 150 assists, and 150 blocks in the same season, and he did that in 48 games.
Wow.
That was like the first, yeah.
Yeah. He had a 5x5 this year in like 27 minutes or something. It's like he's gonna have a quadruple double. Like, he's gonna do that.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
All right. So Victor Wembanyama wins Undebeat Award, Rookie of the Year. Colson's got his puffy paints out.
That's right.
He's putting this on wax, and then
we'll send him a
nailing it out
T-shirt
with lots of glitter. A lot of glitter.
This time of year, the house is just covered in glitter.
Yeah.
Just this time of year?
Well, yeah. Also, yeah, I do have a lot of strippers that stay at the house, so I guess it's most of the time.
Most of the year, yeah.
Yeah, most of the year.
Should ask them to clean off at work. Or maybe they're getting ready. I don't know how it works.
Sure.
You just-
Yeah, don't ask
They
too
should
many
have those
questions.
All right. This is more like practical things, like how do I not have so much glitter in my house? But anyway. All right. Then we'll move over to the most improved player, which now these, I don't know if I mentioned this, these all have people's names on them. This is the George Mikan Trophy. I think
Because
that
he was bad that 1 year or something, and then
yeah,
improved.
and then he was
Got
much
good.
better. And then he got
That's
good.
weird.
Somebody dunked on him, and they were like, they're like, get good, and he's like, all right, I can do that.
I'll just be the tallest guy in the room still. Fine.
Yeah. So for the most improved, we've got. I think there's more people to choose from. This is less cut and dried to me. Also, this one is also up for interpretation. You know, we talk about this every season. You know, is it gonna be the guy that has taken the actual biggest leap, whether it's just pure numbers or, you know, sort of at the eye test, or, you know, we tend to, I feel like, generally go with somebody who has taken a leap outside of their normal career trajectory that's sort of expected from them. You know, a guy who's been, like Wembanyama, you know, next year, if he is, you know, we expect basically everything out of this guy. He's not going to win the most improved because he's already amazing. So, but this season, I think that we've got, I see Cam Thomas is a player that has shown up in some of these discussions on the Nets, and Bulls guard Kobe White. And the one that I think I'm going to back, at least at first, without talking to you guys, is Tyrese Maxey. He's been very, very impressive to me. And I think that he was okay last year. He was fine. But this season he has really made a name for himself. And, you know, in my eyes, sort of come a little out of nowhere and really, you know, he's been dominant at times. And I don't think this was not the trajectory I saw for Tyrese Maxey. But Harper, what do you feel about this award? Who do you got?
I was also going to vote for him this year. He finished 6th in voting for this back in 2021-22. But he just keeps getting much, much better. He made an all-star game this year. He's averaging 25 points a game, which is up another 5 points off last season's 20. And you're right, this was not necessarily a guy who was predicted to be a guy who's making all-star games. But he's looked incredible. He just stepped right into the role that James Harden left somehow. It's been incredible to watch this kid blossom. He's a heck of a player.
Yeah, I mean his numbers go from 20 points a game to 25 points a game, 3.5 assists to 6 assists. However, his his minutes go from 33 to 37, so it's a big increase in volume. He goes from taking 15 to 20 shots per game. His shooting percentage actually goes down. 3-point percentage goes down.
Embiid has been out. He's had to carry a lot of weight.
That's fair. Totally fair. I am leaning towards, usually I don't do this, but a second-year guy well, actually, my vote would have been Alperen Şengün, but he is ineligible. So he got injured and only played 63 games, I think, or something like that. But the way that he made a leap was just incredible, I thought. So in lieu of that, I'm going to go with Jalen Williams for the Thunder, who jumped from 14 to 19 points a game, upped his assists a little bit, and his shooting improved dramatically. So it went from 52 to 54%. And his 3-point shooting is the big thing there. It went from 35 to 43% from the range. And OKC has been a major contributor to OKC's success this season too.
So, one of the things that we talk about when we talk about this award is that like guys just are supposed to get better. I mean, that's kind of what we expect. I think the step that Jalen Williams took was massive. I think that Tyrese Maxey is taking a step that I wasn't sure that he could take, and I think that's why both of these guys are on this list, because they surprised with the step they took. But I'm kind of annoyed by this award in general, because it's just guys get better. That's why I like the Kobe White story. As a guy who was just maybe going to wash out of the league, and in Chicago, he was averaging under 10 points a game last year, and now he's averaging 19. I think it's a great. Maybe it's the comeback award, as opposed to the most improved. But I think it's more to the spirit of this award than just a guy who's getting better every year.
Yeah. He finished 5th in Roy voting his rookie campaign, and then just kind of tailed off. Which is a thing that'll happen when you play for just a god awful franchise.
That's right.
But I mean, just really giving Chicago some hope here. 19 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists. I just think it's a fun story, and I mean, in general, screw Chicago, but I'd like to throw my hat in the ring for that guy at least.
All right, so we got 2 Tyrese Maxeys, a Jalen Williams that I'm not overly committed to, and a Kobe White. What do you, Joey? What are your thoughts on the Kobe White argument?
I like it. I like that, and I like the Şengün one as well. I think both of those.
Yeah, we don't have to
players.
abide by the stupid NBA rules.
That is true.
Oh, interesting. That's a twist.
Well, they came up with this nonsense rule. We don't have to follow it.
I mean, I love the rule for the NBA, but we're not.
I like that the rules there, but I just don't like following rules.
Yeah, rules suck. Rules are for other people.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I guess all of these players are interesting for different reasons, and it's a vague award. So I don't know. I'm gonna pass the buck.
You're gonna punt. So what I would say is, as much as I like the Kobe White in the sense that I feel like it's the spirit of the award, if there is, we got 2 guys already voting for Maxey. I didn't see this coming. I guess sure. Philly did, but they wouldn't have been so confident in getting rid of Harden. Although Harden kind of forced his way out of there. I didn't know Maxey was going to be unguardable and be an all-star. So I'm willing to agree with that as an improvement if we're leaning that direction as a team.
Yeah, I'm good to go that way too. I mean, I don't. It's not that I have a strong dislike of Maxey. And you're right. I think he does deserve a little bit of kudos for having to take over the reins while Embiid was out. And I mean, Philly kind of did horribly during that stretch, so I don't know what that says. But, he definitely made his mark as sort of a legit all-star level player in this league, I think, which is not nothing. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's do Tyrese.
Okay. He's is this his 4th year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
I mean, and poor Kobe White. On any other podcast, maybe he gets this.
He did have a chance.
He's a bull. So
He's a bull.
That's the thing. He signed that contract. No, we can do about that.
That idiot got drafted by the Bulls.
No, shout out, Kobe.
Okay, so we've got consensus. We're going to move over to Defensive Player of the Year. We talk about, we talk about Miles Turner a lot for this one. And he's been a great defender, but I don't think that he's at that level right now to compete with the elite defenders in the league. And I think Wembanyama, who we've mentioned, is going to come up in some of these conversations because of some insane things that he's doing. But right now, I think overall, defensively, the best one out there is still Rudy Gobert, and so he's my vote for right now. He made a big difference for Minnesota as he joined their team, and they are much better because of him. So Gobert is my pick. Colson, do you have other ideas on this one?
No. I, as much as I don't love rooting or voting for the same guy over and over again every year, and I feel like Gobert's already won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times? Is that right? 4? The thing is Minnesota's the best defensive team in the league, and he's their anchor. So for me, it's fairly straightforward.
And by a lot.
Yeah.
The best defensive team. Their defensive rating is 107.7, which is about 3 points ahead of Boston, which is pretty impressive.
Harper, are you on the same train?
Rudy has been a 3-time DPOY, 6-time All-Defense, 4-time All-NBA. Maybe another name out there is even SGA. Maybe a Giannis.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Rudy Gobert should win this award for the last time. That'd be nice. Because the only time that Wembanyama is not going to win this award for the next decade is maybe when he's MVP, and even then, just maybe.
Interesting. I like that idea. So this is the last Defensive Player of the Year award that doesn't go to Wembanyama for the next 10 years.
Rename it the Wembanyama Award.
Fair enough.
Makes sense to me because, like I said, he's doing things and he's getting better. That Wembanyama, that is, and this is going to be potentially his to lose for the next decade.
I mean, this is the man who shut down the country, so he's capable of.
He did.
Capable of anything.
Only once. You lick a couple microphones and you get on Harper's list,
Yeah, not only does he have to shut down the other team's best offensive player, he has to shut down the country.
Yeah. Yep. All right, now we move over to Coach of the Year. I think there's a lot of good coaches out there. I think that there's been some new ones kind of making waves, and I don't know. I guess there are a couple of new names that I am been pretty impressed with. I guess I want to start on the Celtics. Joe Mazzulla, who the Celtics have been tremendous this year, and I want to give something to the Celtics for the amazing season they've had. We haven't really mentioned anybody else on their team, and they are very much the cream of the crop, NBA wise. So that's my vote. Jason, do you have another name for this list?
Well, I think the season that OKC has put together, at some level they sort of deserve an honor. And so I think Mark Dagnall has done an excellent job of getting that team prepared every night. It's a bunch of young guys, but they play with a seriousness and a passion that's very professional, very mature, I would say, for their age. And I think that, probably lends a lot to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander being a pretty steady hand at the wheel, but also Dagnall, I think. So I would toss his name out there. I mean, OKC, as the time of recording, has already won 53 games, which is third in the West right now.
It's a lot of games. You win over 50 games, you win a lot of games.
Yeah.
For me, I'm with you. I think he should definitely be part of the conversation and might win this thing for us. But I'm really impressed by the leap that the Magic took. I think they're probably what most people would assume is like a season ahead of where we might expect them for how young their team is, how bad they've been recently. And that's Jamal Mosley as their coach. And I'd like to put his name in the ring here.
Yeah, two other names worth mentioning. One is Chris Finch, who has done a really good job with the Timberwolves this year. And
yep, for sure.
And how about Rick Carlisle, who just passed Red Auerbach on the all-time coaching list for wins? I hear his team has had a pretty good season as well.
Yeah, and above expectation as well.
Yep,
for sure.
Now, all that said, I can't help but look at OKC, how young, how talented, how stacked, and now how well coached they look, and think that this thing shouldn't probably go to Dagnall. He finished second last year. I think he deserves it very much.
I mean, or should we just give the MVP to SGA and then just do the coach of the year to somebody else? I mean, is it SGA that's driving this thing?
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, because like the way that Jalen Williams is playing and the way that Chet Holmgren developed as a player this year, and like
Josh Giddey,
I think all the
is stacked, man.
I think
Luke
all
Dort is so underrated.
Yeah, and he does a good job like putting the right guys in the right position and stuff like that. And I mean, absolutely, I agree that Shea is, an MVP candidate and scored 30 points a game, basically 30 points every game.
And they over the past 3 or 4 seasons, they've shut him down early so they don't win as many games as they should, so they get a better draft pick.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's been their basically plan as a franchise.
And well played. It worked.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing that the Thunder has been a fantastic story this year. I just don't know.
This is not a David Blatt situation where success is clearly due to the best player. Like, I think there are a lot of moving parts here. That
hot take, dude.
If David Blatt would like to comment, I mean, he's.
I think everybody would agree that my job is to stay out of the way and let LeBron run the team. That's why I deserve Coach of the Year, because I understand that.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. I mean, I guess maybe I'll tip my hand a little bit, but I am not going to vote for SGA for MVP.
Okay.
So I'm okay to send the coaching award that way.
They deserve, you're right, something for the success they've had. It's been a wonderful story. And I'm with you, Harper, that I think the Timberwolves is another really wonderful and surprising story. They basically, the Thunder and the Timberwolves have vied for the top spot of the West all season long. So let's go Dagnall. Is that how I say it? Can I say Denault?
Dag.
Is it a silent G?
Dagnall.
It's not a silent G, but it is emphasis on the first syllable.
Okay, got it. Dagnall.
I don't think you don't have to be so angry. All right, we're gonna head over to the sixth band of the year, and the name I'm seeing out there a bunch is Malik Monk for the Kings, who is been having a phenomenal season. He is 15 points and 5.3 assists a game. We see Norman Powell out there, who admittedly has played well as well. But I'm skipping all that noise and I'm going home to TJ McConnell. He's been ridiculous. This is the guy you want on your team, the TJ McConnell.
Yeah, I'm going to have a real hard time doing Quaker style if TJ McConnell is not the answer here. I mean, we do a Pacers podcast. We've watched him, all season long, just elevate this team. He's the spark, the energy when we need it. He's the adult in the room. He somehow gets the toughest buckets on the floor, even though he's like 6 foot. And I don't know. He's absolutely incredible, and he has won so many games for this Pacers team. He's second in the team in assists off the bench. Like, come on.
It's a little bit skewed, but his per 36 numbers: 19.5 points, 10.8 assists, and he's shooting quite well this year too. Almost 55% from the field and almost 38% from the range. I mean, he only takes less than one every few games, but
he also gets a McConnell every game, which is the stealing the inbounds pass. We call him McConnell.
Yeah. Averages a steal a game. Yep. I'm cool with it. It's our award, so
it is our award.
Yeah.
Now, I'm pretty sure he's on no betting line, so you would win a lot of money, even if you bet $1 and it came up TJ McConnell.
Okay. Maybe we should go put $1 on this on
maybe
DraftKings.
You should put down 10 and just see what happens. Other names that are out there, Naz Reid has done a stellar job for another Timberwolves stepping up, especially with Karl Anthony Towns being out.
Is he going to start too many games now that Karl Anthony is out, or no?
No, not even close.
Okay.
And,
you have to pay less than half the games? Is that what the rule is?
I don't know what the rule is, but
or something. I know we looked at this once.
Close to it.
Yeah. Bobby Portis is out there, and then you get into log shots. Karis LeVert's on some people's lists.
I mean, Bobby Portis is going to win Craziest Eyes yet again. So I don't think, he needs another.
He's been working hard on that one.
Yeah, shout out to Karis LeVert, who destroyed us.
Yeah. He likes beating us.
Yeah.
So mad about trading him to Cleveland.
For Ricky Rubio's
all right.
expiring contract.
Right. For the corpse of Ricky Rubio.
Last award, most valuable player. We had already had some mentions of SGA, who has been tremendous, just absolutely phenomenal. And I think, for me, and I don't know, maybe some others, there was some wondering about, is this sustainable? And clearly it has been. He's been amazing all year, and the team has been tremendous. But still, for me, the best player on the defending champs, who I think are going to be trouble in the playoffs again, Nikola Jokic, he is so much fun to watch. His numbers are nuts, and their team is going to be just a tough out any way that you slice it. So I think the Nuggets are going to be a tough out for anybody who wants to get to the top of the Western Conference. Harper, do you have anybody besides those two?
There are a bunch of potential candidates. This is a pretty wide open race this year. Joel Embiid is out, at least for the NBA award because of games missed. I think I like Luka Doncic for this one. The guy has been just absolutely incredible this season. 33.8 points a game, 9 rebounds, almost 10 assists a game to go with the steal and a half. He's been very, very good. He's not playing for the best team, but his numbers are just incredible. He's had an amazing year.
Yeah, however, he's not the best team, but they've like won 9 of their last 10, and they're rocketing up the standings here. They're vying for a home court advantage at this point. There's still a chance. I'm with you. I think Doncic, he's leading the league in scoring and second in the league in assists. I think he has more of a questionable team around him than maybe Jokic does. And they're just winning games. He's been absolutely incredible. Now, I do think Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA still. And maybe you give the award to the best player in the NBA. Maybe that's just what you do. But I do feel like that Doncic is the story this year, and I'd like to give it to him. I don't know.
Thought you were going with SGA.
So you're going
No, I was
Harry,
put it out there. I'm not going with him. I think Doncic is the play here.
And no votes for Tatum, best player.
I
on
was
the
going
best
to go
team?
with Tatum, but I assumed he was going with SGA. I would. Tatum's the best player on the best team, so I could easily vote for him as well.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis is amazing as usual as well. I mean, he's worth mentioning. Jokic is just incredible. Like, he's such a different type of basketball player and so uniquely dominant that I kind of think it's him. But Doncic has been amazing this year, no doubt about that. So I wouldn't be opposed to him getting it. I don't like watching Mavericks basketball necessarily, but
Nope.
that's
They had a pretty cool overtime game today. They had their afternoon game on NBA TV. And, I'm not necessarily the biggest Kyrie Irving fan either, but they all seem to really like each other. And maybe he's found his spot. The team is really rooting for each other. It's the first overtime game of the season for them. They ended up pulling it out. So,
I mean, plus he just does crazy things like trick shots off the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Or just a running underhanded
scoop shot,
cornhole shot,
3-point line.
He just toys with the game, which is fun to watch too. So, we're really, lucky. Like the level of talent in this league right now is just incredible. Like night in, night out. Joey, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Joe, what do you
to step off of Jokic and towards Doncic?
Both of those guys are very deserving. And again, I'm with you guys. I don't particularly like watching Mavericks basketball, but I like watching Doncic basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other folks. The supporting cast is not as complete as, let's say, the Nuggets. But I'd come off that.
The Nuggets, they just share the basketball so well, and I feel like they've sort of taken on Jokic's identity, and I'm not sure the Mavs have quite done the same thing for Doncic's identity, I suppose. So I'm with you, Joey. It's the Nuggets are way more fun to watch than the Mavs.
It's hard to take on Doncic's identity. I mean, when a player has a 50% usage rate, it's kind of hard to take the ball.
Nobody else has a chance
of the time.
And then Irving has the 25 or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. The rest of it. Oh my god.
So Doncic has an 11.8 win shares per game, and I was like, oh yeah, that's got to be leading the league, right? No, Jokic is at 15.8.
Wow.
Jeez. That's crazy.
Well, and you guys are wrong with sometimes it's easy as the best player on the best team, and the Boston Celtics are the best team by far as the record goes. It starts to feel like this is a Boston versus Denver finals, and Jokic has already got his 2 MVPs. Is it Tatum's turn?
Nah.
I like it.
So, Doncic's year.
I think it's Doncic this year.
Sounds like it.
All right, congratulations.
Right?
Yeah. Puffy paint it is.
I don't have to buy the triple X now. I only have to get an extra large, right? For Doncic?
I mean, I think
Probably 2X.
a double X.
Double X, okay.
Yeah.
The dude's a giant.
He's a giant. He's like 6'9". Ugh.
All right, we're going to close the show out. Congratulations, by the way, to all the first-time winners and to everybody who competed. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's an honor just for you to compete for our votes. All right, we're going to close this out with a game. I was challenged last week to come up with a new game, and as promised, this one's called NIMBY-A, and it's about, NIMBY is not in my backyard. So for me, this is the game where you got to decide what players are like respectable, but just not in my backyard. Guys that you don't want on the Pacers.
Okay.
So we're gonna give some scenarios here.
Oh my goodness,
And
scenarios. I like it.
You're gonna have to keep one of these guys,
Okay.
but the rest of them are not in my backyard. So which one is the least offensive to you? So you're doing this. Let's say you're running the Pacers organization, and you're given the options. You got to take one of these guys.
And there's a right answer. Is that correct?
There is a right answer.
Okay.
The same as your quizzes, John. So there is a right answer. And half points all around. Good job. Everybody gets a half point. Good question.
It was an honor for
You're
you
paying
to
attention. I
play
like
the game.
Congratulations for getting here. Colson, you're going first on this one, and please do consult with your other undebeatables, including me. I'll chip in on this one.
I mean,
I don't care.
we are running a franchise together for sure.
That's right. So here's the offer. You got 3 guys to take on your team, and mind you, these are the players in their prime. So because some of these are from different eras.
Okay.
First player, Kyrie Irving. Player 2, Dennis Rodman. Player 3, Gilbert Arenas. Which
Can I
one?
get a point of clarification? When you say in their prime, you mean at their worst, or at their
Their
best?
prime worst.
At their most effective as basketball players.
Okay. Not as their most
okay.
effective as problem children.
Just might coincide for at least one of those guys.
Okay.
So which two of these guys are not in my backyard?
Well, okay. So, Jason and Harbor, just right away, when I think of Gilbert Arenas, I think of poop and shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Don't like it at all. Not a big fan.
There's also a lot of guns in locker rooms, I think.
Lots of guns in locker rooms. Not a big... I think
in this scenario, you have lots of shoes, too. So don't
There are a lot of shoes.
I mean, your shoe budget just goes through the roof.
So I think he's not in my backyard. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I feel like this is down to a Kyrie and a Dennis Rodman.
Well, so this is why I asked the clarifying question, because I would argue that Arenas, at his peak basketball, was in Golden State before he got traded to the Wizards. And, I mean, I don't know what type of teammate he was at that point, but maybe he was still a normal human being, but I guess you know that the path is going down.
Exactly, that's the thing, right? If we get him at his best, we know where it ends, right?
Gotcha.
I think that's like if he's a pacer and pooping in shoes, like we don't want that.
The pooping in shoes is inevitable. There's no way to stop that.
Every universe.
That's right.
Every universe, Gilbert Arenas has pooped in a shoe. Well, so I personally could not have Kyrie Irving in a
Because
Pacers
because he doesn't believe in the Earth is round. Because
That's one reason.
He was suspended for supporting or giving a positive review to an anti-Semitic movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
The
why.
anti-Semitism hits its own a little bit.
Yeah. So you don't like either one of those things. I think that's probably fair.
And I feel like Rodman, at his peak, the best rebounder in the NBA.
He's the best modern rebounder. Right? Is there anybody
Yeah.
who's better than him in the last?
Yeah, Oscar Schwebe.
Fair.
But I mean, since what? Since 75, has anybody been a better rebounder than Rodman? I don't know.
And I mean, he's basically like it's. If we are the GM head trust, it's not our problem. It's PR's problem, right? Like,
Well, until he takes off to Vegas for a couple weeks during your
I think that's fine.
title.
It's fine. Well, I mean,
He shows up for the important ones.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing, right? I mean, he's
Sometimes he shows
Almost
up for the
always.
important games.
And I
He
am
has-
not 100% sure that he wouldn't check some of those Kyrie Irving boxes either.
That's true. That is
good
definitely true.
Wasn't he the ambassador for Kim Jong Il?
He was.
Yeah,
Yep. They're
yeah,
like
yeah.
best friends.
Not a huge fan of that either.
That was post NBA.
That was
career.
post NBA. Was the wedding dress stuff? Was that?
That was definitely.
Did he marry
career.
Madonna for a while? What was that
Oh, yeah.
about?
For sure.
I think.
But that was after the peak of his powers. So
Okay, so here's the thing. Kyrie's one of the best finishers in the history of the game. And he hit one of the most important shots in the history of the Cavaliers franchise in the finals. Dennis Rodman's one of the best rebounders to ever play the game, and he's won, was it 4 or 5 titles? Was he on both of those Pistons teams or just one of them?
He was on both of them.
Okay, so he's got 5 titles. Kyrie's got 1. Let's put up with Rodman's nonsense.
That would be my vote.
Coulson.
Harper, what do you think?
I mean, as much as the best nickname in this group is Agent Zero, or is that Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah, it's got to be Rodman. He's like
Okay.
somehow the least offensive of these
Yeah.
people.
He's also
I mean, the worm.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
so-
Worm's a
The
great
Worm is pretty
nickname.
cool.
He also is a fantastic versatile defender. Like, I think the amount he brings to the court is more consistent than what the other guys bring too. So So Joe, I think as a franchise runners, we're gonna put up with Rodman. And the other
you
two
can
guys are
see-
not in my backyard.
Okay. I mean, you can see what Gilbert brings to the shoe, to the game by looking at his shoe.
We know what he brings to the
You can
shoes.
see what
Joe.
Yeah, but you're correct. It's Dennis Rodman.
Yes.
He's the one that makes the cut. The other two are not in my backyard.
Dennis Rodman is about to turn 63.
My
Wow.
goodness. Not in my backyard, he's not.
True.
Sadly, I think he's now in your backyard.
Maybe. I got a hammock back there.
Nice. Better be a big one.
Huge.
He's huge.
He's a big man.
Yeah. Jason, you are up for question number 2.
Okay.
We've got 3 players. Sterling reputations. If you don't read, news reporting. Which of these players would you want on your team? And which are the 2 that are not in my backyard? Number 1. One of the best. He's an elite stopper. James Harden. Number 2, Rajon Rondo, who's done all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3, superstar Latrell Sprewell.
Trell. Wow. So this is tough. So, okay, Rondo,
Champion Rondo, you have to call him.
champion Rondo, great Connect Four player. Quit on his team so bad in the playoffs that Rick Carlisle tossed him out of the game. We got Latrell Sprewell, choked his coach in practice.
But it's practice,
game,
though.
though.
It's not a game.
Yeah,
though.
practice.
We're talking about
Yeah,
practice.
Practice. And James Harden quit on 4 franchises in a 13-month span or something like that.
He still cashed those checks, though. Don't you worry.
So, I mean, just return on investment wise, I think I have to eliminate Harden because if we have him, we won't have him for long. So
That's true.
So I would eliminate him. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, we get his MVP season, though? That we said we get his height. Is it worth having him for one season as an MVP?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because the other guys weren't even close to MVP.
That's fair. Do you get... I mean, with Sprewell, you get name recognition in, more than a handful of hip-hop songs from the late 90s.
Sure.
He also, was able to carry an 8-seed Knicks team to the finals.
Yeah, great open court finishers.
For sure.
And, PJ might have deserved it.
Sure, yeah. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I mean, we've never heard that Sprewell was a bad teammate. He just, strangled his coach.
Right. And I feel like in our imaginary scenario, we're GM of the Pacers, and Rick Carlisle would quit if we chose.
Can't do Rondo. Rondo's out.
Yeah, no, he's out. Yeah, that's right.
So it's between Harden's MVP season and Sprewell carrying
8-seeded Knicks to the finals. Yeah. And so, and Sprewell, he would have done that after he strangled Carlissimo. So we've got just smooth sailing to the end.
Yeah.
Whereas Harden is
the
MVP
other thing with
season,
Harden
he's
is
going to quit on 4 teams.
even when you have that MVP season, you're going to have heartbreak in the playoffs.
Right.
That's true. That is true. He's going to. He never shows up in the playoffs.
All right, so I'm going to go final answer, Latrell Sprewell.
I like it. The correct answer was Harden because Carlisle would have quit if you picked up a coach trade.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't do all the math.
Interesting.
Two of those were aimed at Carlisle.
Right.
Gotcha.
I got it. There we go.
Gotta take care of Coach.
All right, Harper, if you can pull this one out, we'll get a win for the day. We'll be two of 3. That's what we need to win in today's version of the game. All right, here are your 3. Number 1, Russell Westbrook.
Not in my backyard.
Number 2, Ben Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
And number 3, Chris the Birdman Anderson.
Oh, good Lord.
Which of these 2 are not in your backyard? Which one of the 3 is welcome in your backyard?
So, oh my. I'm not sure Ben Simmons ever actually had the height of his powers somehow.
There's still time.
He was almost really good for 10 minutes and nothing ever happened.
So you're betting on the dream here by bringing him in.
Yeah.
There's still chance.
I
There's
feel
still time.
That's not great. Chris Anderson, isn't he a heroin addict? I don't know what's going on with that dude.
He was banned from the NBA for heroin.
Okay.
He lost an entire season and a half, I think.
Russell Westbrook, even now, is on some people's six-man of the year list, which is terrifying.
He's been great for the Clippers.
Yeah. I don't know. That is a tough one, and I hate that I'm leaning towards the guy that I hate the most here. You guys, can you guys talk some sense into me?
Well, Westbrook gets you an MVP, you know.
He averages a triple-double for you.
It would get you a triple-double season is what he'd do for you. And you'd win, what would you be, a 6 seed?
That's about right, yeah.
Be entertaining, though.
Yeah, he's that.
For sure.
What are we getting with the Birdman? Or what's he do for me? He was always
a little enforcing.
He got some rebounds for you back in the day, like what?
Right. Yeah. He brought energy off the bench. I feel like he started for a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
He went 15 for 15 in games 1 through 5 against the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That sounds about right. That sounds exactly right. Probably got all the O boards that we needed to.
So if you're going from the Larry Bird perspective, you pick that guy because he killed you.
Right,
in a game
and we would
once.
have won that game.
And he's also white.
History, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I also am someone who would like to, allow people to recover from their addictions and forgive them. I don't think we should hold the heroin thing totally against him.
Only partially.
Only partially
his fault.
Yeah, the part where he did all the heroin is his fault, I suppose. But yeah, I just don't think he's worth the risk. It just doesn't give you enough. I guess is my argument there.
I mean, Ben Simmons. So Ben Simmons is the backup plan because he gives you nothing, but he doesn't do heroin.
Well, at his peak, he gave you something.
Well, but
you just
yips.
know that at
Is he
some
over the
point he's
yips
going to
yet?
have a wide open layup in the playoffs, and he's going to defer.
And that was
take
his
that.
peak. There's still a peak potentially here, though. That's the thing, right? If he gets over the yips,
Is there?
I don't know.
I think that shit might have sailed, man.
I think he's done. Yeah, so I think by process of elimination, Westbrook is.
I think this is Westbrook, and
This
it's
is
Harper's
just Joey
least.
messing with me. It's Westbrook.
But I had to go along. I had to go along with it too, and you are correct. It is Russell Westbrook.
No, I'm sorry, Harper.
Fans love that guy. They go nuts for him. So you're gonna get money at the gate. Don't worry about that.
That'll make
We could-
Herb happy.
We could still probably pick him up. And
Could probably get Ben Simmons too. I think Chris Anderson is out there if you want.
For a song.
There's some guys.
They're all out there. They're all out there. All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. You guys went 2 of 3. You were fantastic in deciding who is not invited to your backyard.
Well, I think 2 out of 3, winning 2 out of 3 decisions as a franchise GM would be make us very successful if we continued that batting average. Or
yeah, if you win that,
I'm
games,
mixing up my sports metaphors, but you know what I'm saying.
That's
my shooting percentage.
I'd be shocked if you did it otherwise. But if you win, you win 2/3 of your games, you're gonna start in a good place every time. So well done, everybody, and thank you for playing NIMBY-A this week.
Thank you for organizing it.
Yeah, appreciate it, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, team. I think that wraps it up for this show. We will be back with you next week as this NBA season winds down. and we head into the playoffs. Everyone, I'm sure, is very excited because there is a sweet playoff jingle that we're gonna hear.
We haven't heard in a few years here. This is gonna be exciting.
We haven't heard in a while, and this is gonna be a sweet rendition, I'm sure. And here's hoping that we don't even need to do the play-in game. That'd be amazing. Until next week, you can find us on social media. We are at Undebeatables. We're at facebook.com/theundebeatables. Our website is theundebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. And email. Shout out at theundebeatables.com. And at the website /store is where you can get merch.
Yeah, here's to hoping that we're not playing the play-in tournament. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say the party's over for the play-in tournament. We're going straight to the playoffs. So that's what this will be coming from there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you all are on the same page.
Sure.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. Let's go playoffs, baby.
Nice.
Playoffs. I love those playoffs. I'm excited. I'm so excited for playoff basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general.
Yeah, should be a good year.
The first when the playoffs start, like the first 2 weeks are just you just put the TV on every night, and then there's like amazing basketball.
Well, I have to start asking shifts off of work and stuff. It's gonna be this is a whole thing.
Is that why you quit your job, Joey? Because
They wouldn't give you shit.
That's not what I told them. But I did some math, and I was like, I don't know. The Pacers are probably going to be above this 6th seed or above. Like, well, hey guys, it's been great.
but I got shit to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Go Pacers!
Well, I mean, it's just traffic, and where we were, like 37, or like now Interstate 69 is
Nice.
there's. I was leaving that for somebody. Maybe I'm getting old, but we were getting gas today, and I had to leave the pump because the ads were so loud at the pump that I couldn't stand next to it. They were screaming at me.
You're getting old, Joe.
And another thing,
when you were a younger man, you used to love it when ads screamed at you.
I remember, Joey. Just drag us to gas stations just to listen to the ads.
Play it louder, you'd say.
We'd
I
go
would like
in
throw up the horns and yeah, man,
complain.
loved it.